All right, so let's go on to Chapter 4, Ethical and Social Responsibility in Marketing. Think about personal ethics for a second. Think about things that you might do that might be legal but perhaps unethical. Lying to your employer to get a day off, calling in sick, looking at someone else's test as you're taking a test. You look over and you can see the answers on their test, so you check your answers against theirs. Things that might come up in the near future in this class: cheating on an online test, misrepresenting yourself on your resume, parking illegally or illegally obtaining a parking permit, littering, receiving too much change, speeding. Many of us on a daily basis go over the speed limit. And then things like pirating software and pirating music, which obviously happens a little less now than it has in the past, but still is a major issue. Then think about business ethics. Business ethics are things like overcharging customers, polluting, bait and switch advertising. This is where I offer something at a very low price, but when you come in to buy it, it's simply not available. Collusion, where a couple of companies maybe get together and set prices. Bribes and kickbacks, where I do business with someone because they give me a bribe or kickback to do so. Or withholding information from either the government or from individuals. The most recent versions of this were things like the most recent Volkswagen problem, where Volkswagen obviously knew that their diesel automobiles did not pass the smog standards, but went ahead and withheld that information from the government anyway. Some recent unethical business examples that you're probably all familiar with: Enron, the famous Bernie Madoff incident, Tyco, WorldCom, British Petroleum with their Gulf oil spill, ADM, Archer Daniels, Midland, price fixing, and of course here in Southern Nevada, the recent mortgage crisis. Let's first take a look at the distinction between laws and ethics. Laws are society's values and standards enforced in the courts, and ethics are the moral principles and values that govern the actions and decisions of an individual or group. There are four different sorts of actions that someone could take. The first one, of course, would be the far right-hand corner, something that is both ethical and illegal. It's ethical to do it, and it's legal to do it, and of course that's hopefully that's where most of our activities fall most of the time. There are things that are ethical but illegal. An example of this here in Southern Nevada is speeding. It's illegal to go over the speed limit. That's why it's called a speed limit. But most of the people in Southern Nevada drive over that speed limit, 5, 6, 7, 8 miles an hour over that speed limit, and don't worry about it much. And for the most part, law enforcement could, but doesn't tend to enforce that. So that's probably something that might be considered to be ethical. That is, people don't consider it to be unethical to drive over the speed limit, but it is in fact illegal. There could be things that are unethical and illegal, and of course these are things like cheating on your taxes, doing things that you could be issued a ticket or arrested when you do. And then there are things that might be unethical to do, but are legal. And of course, many businesses do follow practices that might be unethical, but perhaps there's no law preventing them from doing so. The framework for understanding ethical behavior is the book's using this particular model to understand ethical behavior. It includes societal culture and norms, business culture and norms, and corporate cultures and expectations. And these, of course, lead to personal moral philosophy and ethical behavior. So we're going to be looking at these factors in the next couple of lectures.